it's so nice to be back. Thank you for watching. And today we're going to talk about teens and music practicing. So I have two teenagers in the house, and it's actually quite fun. A lot of the time, it can be kind of up and down. It's like kind of being like on a roller coaster, honestly. So if you enjoy roller coasters, then you're going to enjoy the teen years with your children. And I wanted to talk about teenagers because I feel like a lot of times things happen with teenagers that seem like they're just out of left field. And I know sometimes I'm taken aback and I have to readjust. But there are things that you can do when it comes to teens and music practicing. And I would say also in terms of the setup. So if your teen has been practicing daily for many years, things are going to go a little more easily as they enter their teenage years. So if you've established that practice habit, if they have a good relationship with their teacher and they really enjoy music lessons, then the teenage years when it comes to music practicing are going to be a lot easier. If those things are not in place, then it will be a little bit more difficult. So some of the things to really make sure to set up for the teenage years are having music lessons that your teen enjoys. If they have a teacher they connect with, the teacher doesn't have to be, an incredible musician in their field at this point. I would say if you find a teacher that loves music, loves that instrument, and is able to convey that love and connect with your teenager, then stick to that teacher. If it's not working really well, then I would say with the teenage years, things could start to go downhill. So find a great teacher. That's one of the best things to do. And so that comes with 4 other things that I highly recommend when it comes to working with teens. So first is finding a great teacher. The second is to make it social. Our teenagers love to hang out with their friends, as you probably noticed. And so if you can make it so that they're hanging out with friends as they're making music, that is a huge win-win. Let me give you an example. I actually did not like playing the piano for many, many years, actually until I was 13. And what happened was that at 13 years old, I went to music camp. And that was my first time at a place where it was a whole week and, everybody had a little schedule. And so I had, piano practicing scheduled for this hour and this hour. And it was totally fine because the rest of my friends were practicing too. And they had their schedules. And I got to meet other people. We became really good friends. And it was just so fun. So if you can make music a social activity, then that is going to help propel them through their teenage years into adulthood. It doesn't have to be music camp, although music camp is a really, really magical experience. It could be just, finding an ensemble so that your kid makes music with somebody else that's their age, and they do that regularly. So the other things to do are to make sure that your child is still watching other people make music. They're going to live music events. They're looking at, YouTube videos. They're seeing people around them make music. Doesn't have to be you if you're not a musician, but they're seeing a lot of musicians, and especially musicians who are playing their instrument. That will help propel them to really want to make music on their instrument. The other thing to do is to make sure that music is a priority in your household. Teenagers often have so many different interests and they want to do so much. But you know what? At the end of the day, if they're committed to 5 other activities, then music can sometimes get squashed. So I've told my kids in our household that music is a priority. It's something that we value as a family. And so they are expected to be making music every day. And, that can be in different iterations, but that's something that I've told many, many times to my children. And they've come to learn, oh yeah, if I want to go hang out with my friends, I'm going to have to practice my instrument first. Or if I want to go do, watch anime or do this other activity, music practicing comes first. So establishing that and working with them is part of the fun and certainly part of the teenage years. And the last thing you can do with your teenager is to negotiate. And this is the time, actually, it's really good for their development to really negotiate with you to figure out what really works. because, they have certain ideas and they want to be heard. So really listen to what their ideas are. I actually thought about this after I read Alicia Keys' book, and she talks about this time. So, when she was in kindergarten, she fell madly in love with the piano. She heard it and decided, this is my instrument. And so luckily, her family was gifted a piano. She had a single mom, and she started taking lessons. And so she kept taking lessons and enjoyed it. But by the time she was 11, by the way, Alicia Keys is quite smart. She actually graduated high school when she was 16. So I'm looking at this 11-year-old Alicia Keys as probably more akin to a teenager. And she goes to her mom and she says, "Mom, piano lessons are pretty expensive. I don't think we need to do piano lessons. And besides, I'd rather just hang out with my friends." And guess what her mom said? Her mom said, "No, of course you're not quitting piano lessons. No, you have to keep doing piano lessons." But they negotiated. And so what happened was Alicia Keys had the summers off from piano lessons. And then she had to take piano lessons during the school year. So that was the deal that they struck, and it worked well for her. And of course, as evidence today, she continued to play piano and now has produced all this amazing music. So, I have to say a huge kudos to Alicia Keys' mom for sticking with her guns. And that's something that you can do too. So if you can do these 5 different things with your teenager, you will see a big difference, and you can help make your family a more musical family and make sure that music making is a lifelong skill that your kids can enjoy. Thank you for watching. If you have comments, please write them below, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, make sure to live from the heart and play with joy.